I'm Freytag, Prevention's fitness expert, and shortcuts are very doable and easy to fit into your workday too. Here's a great shortcut tip for you. I'm a big believer in tracking what you eat and your activity level when you first get started on a fitness program. And a great shortcut tip is to try our health tracker feature on prevention.com. Just click on the health tracker and you can go ahead and enter your calorie intake, your activity level, and keep track of it throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. That will help you get a more realistic handle on what you're actually eating and what you're actually doing. Now, you'll notice I'm sitting on an exercise ball. Yes, that's exactly right. Push the chair away and sit on the exercise ball. It not only relieves stress from your low back, but it's kind of fun. You can move around, relieve some of that stress, and then get back to what you were doing. Studies have shown that people are more productive when they sit on an exercise ball at the office or in schools. Now, go ahead and even push the ball away from the desk every so often and try some core body work. Roll forward just a little bit, pull that belly button in, and try some core body crunches. Better yet, sit all the way up and go for some core rotation, working your obliques and relieving stress from your spine. And if you're really motivated, go ahead and stand up, push the ball away, and try some push-ups. Now here's a little game for you. Try 50 push-ups a day, divided into 5 different times, 10 push-ups each. Step away and just press right into your desk. Do 10 push-ups. Now think about it. If you do 50 push-ups a day, that's 250 push-ups a week. That's not a bad week at the office.
Everyone's experienced that familiar energy crisis in the afternoon when all you want to do is curl up and take a nap. The next time it hits, instead of heading to the vending machine for a quick, sugary pick-me-up or downing a big cup of coffee, try some of these simple, energizing moves that you can do at the office. Take a 1 to 3 minute walk around your office building, and if there are stairs, use them. If you can't get away from your desk, stand up and jump or jog in place. Or try some chair aerobics. First, pump your arms overhead. Then, twist at the waist, punching your arms out across your body, side to side. Follow that up with some toe taps, or heel lifts, or how about a seated jog? Sit in a chair with wheels. Place your hands shoulder-width apart at the edge of your desk for a great back stretch. Grip the desk with the fingers on top and the thumbs underneath. With your feet off the floor.
Introduce Freytag. Like I said, she was named a 2012 National Online Fitness Influencer by ShareCare. She resides here locally. Thanks for all of us who watch Motivation Monday on Care 11's. Oops, little plug. Whoops. But she is a nationally world-renowned motivational speaker, fitness expert, author, blogger, producer of all things fitness, nutrition, and wellness. And we're so pleased to have her. She uses one of our workstations. She's a huge champion of it. And so, you know, this is a terrific opportunity for those of you to get to know her. So thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay. Forward. Back.
Thank you.
And hold it back there, Marcy.
Okay, I can get it. That was a really nice introduction. Thank you. So nice to be here. I think I'm that out-of-the-box presenter for you today. I'm not a researcher. I'm going to give you a lot of lighthearted, good information that hopefully will motivate you to make some changes in your own personal road to health. I have a little case of laryngitis. I apologize. About a week ago, I got this horrible thing in my throat. It was a sore throat, and then it turned into this laryngitis, and I've been nursing it back to health, so I don't always sound like this. I apologize, but I think you can hear me, right? Because I do have a big mouth. I talk really loud. And this lump in my back is not from sitting. It is a microphone. Okay? Whew, let's get that out of the way. All right. So I'm glad to be here. I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years, 24 years. I'm passionate, like so many of you, changing people's lives. I'm a certified personal trainer, group fitness instructor, health coach, yoga and Pilates instructor. I'm just a fool for information. I love it. I'm a journalist at heart and by degree. And I do work with a lot of large fitness companies and medical companies and all different kinds of companies doing video type stuff, PR type stuff, blogging, writing. I love it, and I do a lot of speaking events. And interestingly enough, not always to health companies, because a lot of companies are now having day-long seminars on whatever it might be, mortgage banking, but they want to give their employees a little bit of me time, because at the end of the day, as an employer, you know that healthier employees are happier employees, and healthier employees save you money. So there is some incentive for companies to start making people's lives healthier. And they're getting involved, and I love it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm a mom of 3. I have a 21-year-old who lives just down the block here. I should have checked in on him. I have a 19-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. I'm busy like all of you. Can come up with a lot of excuses why I don't have time to take care of myself. The story continues. We all know about that. I have a picture of myself using my WorkFit C station. I do have a sit-stand station. I absolutely love it. I'm a proponent of it because it has personally changed my life. I have a degenerated disc between L4 and L5. I am a very active person. If I wasn't active, I think it would be worse. It's kind of a genetic thing in my family. And sitting all day, I do work out in the mornings, but I sit in the afternoons. And I'm on my computer, and I'm writing, and I'm sitting. And the WorkFit station changed my life because I could stand up. I found out a couple of things. First of all, it took the pain out of my back, which was amazing, because when I sit for long periods of time, I have horrible back pain. And I also found out by wearing one of those monitoring devices, there's so many out there, at the time I was wearing the Body Media armband, that I was burning an extra calorie per minute. That was an extra 200 to 300 calories a day. That makes a difference in our lives as we are aging. So I became a huge proponent of it, and I also use a WorkFit C station. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little more personal message today. I'm turning on my timer. I have 30 minutes. This is normally a 60-minute presentation for me, so I hope, can you understand me? Am I talking too fast? I'm going to water down a little bit. I will be at my back table today to give you more details if you have any questions, because I don't have time to talk about all the things that I want to talk about food and fitness and mental health, but I'll breeze through it. I call my presentation, Eat Healthy, Move More, Perform Better. It's really actually that simple. Now, I know you researchers, there is more to it, and I appreciate all the research, but literally, if people would just eat a little bit better, move a little bit more, they will perform better in all aspects of their life. And give me a show of hands for those of you who would like to wake up in the morning and feel less tired, less stressed, more energized. If you do not have your hand up, you're lying. Okay, everybody does, right? Who wouldn't? We all want to feel better at the end of the day. That's what our goal is on our personal journey to better health, is to take better care of ourselves. And people say to me all the time, Chris, I don't want to spend my whole life getting into shape. I want to be in shape to live my life, right? I don't want to go through the drudgery of thinking about all these things I have to do for myself. There we go. There I am at my WorkFit. Okay, we're on the right deck. Thank you so much. Okay, so people tell me I don't want to, spend my whole life trying to get into shape. At some level, it affects everybody. I've talked to so many different groups of people, all different. I was at a meat packing company. They literally came out of the factory with the things on their head, and they were wearing like literally snowmobile suits. They were packing meat, and and it was all men, not a single woman in the room. And they had so many questions for me at the end of my presentation. They care about their health. We all care about our health. A man too busy to take care of his tools is like a mechanic. A man too busy to take care of his health is like a mechanic too busy to take care of his tools. It's the obvious. We all have excuses. I'm going to get into that. I got to point that way. I don't want to live my life getting into shape. I want to be in shape to live my life. I just said that to you. Okay, interesting. All right, so eat healthy, move more, perform better. That's what I'm going to talk about. I have 2 goals. One of them is to entertain you a little bit. I think we're doing okay so far. Yeah? Okay. The other one is to give you a takeaway or two that you go home today. I'm just hoping that you go home and go, I can do that. I can do that one thing she said. I'm going to try that one thing with myself or my family. So let's see if we can accomplish that by the end. And by the way, on a lighter note, how many of you have a birthday every year? Okay, great, because people who have the most birthdays live the longest. So you're on the top part of the curve. So good job. Okay, I call this the vicious circle. This is where we kind of are, our state of affairs. We're not getting great sleep, and I don't have time to talk about sleep, but that's a whole nother issue. And I work with Rodale, and we talk a lot about sleep in our magazines because sleep really affects us as we age. But let's say you're not getting great sleep. Well, then you're probably not going to exercise because you're kind of tired. And if you're not going to exercise, well, what the heck, just eat something bad because you haven't been sleeping or exercising, and now you've got lack of energy. It's this vicious circle that we live in. People talk about it all day long. We talk about it all the time. We've got to poke a hole somehow in that circle and make a difference in our lives. Here's my motto. Strive for progress, not perfection. Perfection sets you up for disappointment. Nobody is perfect, and if you're perfect, you're boring, right? It's good to have a few imperfections. So make small changes, doable changes that stick with you and that help you move forward in your health journey. We're not going to be perfect. I teach fitness classes in the morning at Lifetime Fitness. I still do. I ran into one gal here who used to come to my classes every morning at 5:30, and I still teach to the same group of people. And you know, we're not perfect. We don't look perfect. We don't do things perfectly, but we're trying hard, and we're making changes in our personal journey, and that's what's really important. So I'm going to start with talking about physical health, food and fitness. We're going to drop off the sleep because we don't have time. But before I get into food, and I'm really passionate about food, I love to eat. How many of you like to eat? Yeah, exactly. We all love to eat. But our belief system and our habits have happened for a lot of reasons, but a lot of it is due to media, right? What's going on in the media, what they're telling us. And we get really confused. Our belief system gets a little bit confused. Let me just ask you, how many of you think carbs make you fat? Do any of you think carbs make you fat? A couple people. How many of you are not sure? Yeah, and you're an educated group of people. Let me tell you, there are a lot of people who raise their hand. Everyone raises their hand. How many think fat makes you fat? How many of you are not sure? Okay. How many of you believe that eating healthy is kind of boring? Okay, more people. Okay. See, and that's all formed from belief systems, because some of it you might not have any information about. You might not even know anything about fat and how it works in your body, but you just think fat makes you fat. Let me ask you this. How many of you believe that cod liver oil tastes bad? More hands. How many of you ever tasted cod liver oil? Oh, some of you. I love it. Okay, well, what if I told you that cod liver oil could improve your skin, hair, nails, make your cells soft? You want soft cells so they operate properly. Improve your lipid profile, your hormonal balance, ladies. Your brain health, your weight control. What if I told you that, and it could taste like a lemon drop? Would you be willing to try it? Aha, see? It does. It tastes like a lemon drop. My whole family takes it, except for my daughter who's a vegan, and she gets her omegas from a different source. But we all take it every morning, no problem. Tastes like a lemon drop. I bet you're going to go get some because I told you that. So anyway, it's about our belief system. So I want you to have an open mind. I want you to be willing to change things. Okay, so food and fitness. Two cues when it comes to healthy eating. It's really quite simple. Quantity and quality of food. It's really easy to look at it that way. And clean eating is just eating foods that come from plants, animals, and trees. Portion control, that's the first cue. Quantity. I don't think I have to tell you, we're eating too much in America, right? So here's the good news. It's not even what you're eating, it's how much you're eating. We just eat too much. And it's a belief system of bigger is better. I've fallen prey to that. Have you fallen prey to that? Believing, well, if they give me more for my money, it's a better deal. But often, if you're getting more for your money, what's happening to the other cue? The quality is going down. You're getting lesser quality. I say at restaurants today, they don't even serve plates anymore. They serve platters, right? And your eyes are like saucers. You see this big platter coming to your table, and you're thinking, wow, that's a good deal for 10 bucks. But really, it might not be a good deal for 10 bucks. It could be horrible quality food. So it's that bigger is better mentality that really kind of screws with us. Restaurants are serving way too big of portions. We're typically serving ourselves too big a portion. So if you just ate a little bit of less. Calories are units of energy. Think of them that way. They fuel your body. What you put in your body as fuel, you use hopefully as energy. If you put too much in, it's stored as fat. Fat does not make you fat. Too many calories make you fat. The wrong calories, the wrong quality of food. So think of it that way. Here's some ideas just for eating less. And these are, I know you might say, well, duh, I know this, but are you doing it? When I work with people who are trying to lose weight, I have them measure their food. Now, people will tell me I don't want to walk around with measuring cups. I get that. But really, how big is a cup? How big is a cup? It's not that big. How big is a half a cup? Because that's usually like what cereal is, a half a cup. Have you ever poured a half a cup of cereal and saw what it looked like? It's not much. So sometimes just getting in touch with what's a real portion. Here's something with the belief system I was talking about. How many of you have gotten those single serving bags of chips before and eaten the whole thing? Oh, come on, admit it. Right, have you ever looked on the back and noticed that many of them say 2 servings? It's not 1 serving, it's 2 servings. They trick you, but you believe it's small, it's 1 serving. So it's kind of poking a hole in that belief system. Quit the Clean Plate Club. You don't have to finish everything on your plate, especially at restaurants when they're giving you way too much food. Split it with somebody, take half of it home. Trick yourself with smaller dishes. Since my kids have been little, we always ate dinner on the salad plate because the dinner plate is so humongous. My salad plates are about the size of the dinner plate that my mom served us on in the 70s. Anybody else notice that dinner plates have gotten so huge? Now, my boys are big eaters now. They will use a larger plate. But there is definitely a habit to reach for the smaller plate. Get in touch with your Domino foods. So, okay, everybody in this room, I'm pretty sure, has a trigger food, a domino food, something that they just eat too much of. So then for most of us females who do a lot of the grocery shopping, the question is, why do we buy it? Why do we buy it? I've been in that same situation where I've been in the grocery store. I think, well, my kids really want it. Well, no, who really wants it? Me. So if you can stay away from those domino foods, those trigger foods, get in touch with them, get to know them, write them down, stay away. And have it your way at restaurants because they are all about customer service. So it's always interesting when I go out with friends and they'll say, how did you get that when my dinner comes? And I'll say, I asked for it. Have it your way. Burger King taught us that in the 80s. Have it your way. So get the dressing on the side. Take the sauce off of it. Ask for vegetables instead of 4 cups of mashed potatoes. You can make changes, and you can eat less, and that's the first step in changing the way you feel, actually eating less. Now, quality really matters because a calorie is not just a calorie. We like to simplify that sometimes, calories in, calories out, but at the end of the day, quality makes a difference. We are potentially the only nation that is overfed and undernourished, meaning that we put too much fuel in our body. We eat a lot of extra calories, but none of them are quality calories, so we are malnourished. We have kids that do not meet the requirements for nourishment, but they're eating a lot of food, and that's a situation we need to change. When it comes to quality, here's what I tell people. First of all, nobody likes to diet. The first 3 letters are die. There's a lot of diets out there, and if diets worked, they wouldn't keep inventing new ones. They make people a lot of money. So what I say is take those 4 letters, rearrange them, and edit what you eat. Don't go on a diet. Don't go on a diet, go off a diet, just edit what you eat. Think of it that way. It doesn't have to be so, such drudgery. Just edit your food choices. And I like to talk about real food. I love Michael Pollan. If any of you have read his books, In Defense of Food, Food Rules, his newest book, Cooked, he just puts it so simply. First of all, one of the things he says before I read this is when he talks about food is he says, eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. Those are easy rules to live by. Eat real food, not too much, portion control, mostly plants, quality. It's pretty simple. But when you think about real food, so when you're making those food choices out there and you're going down the frozen food aisle and you've got a couple of those frozen meals, then you've got, frozen this and package that. Think about what is real food, because real food, according to Michael Pollan, grows and dies. It's not created on an assembly line. Real food rots, wilts. It becomes generally unappetizing rather quickly. Now, I was at the farmer's market yesterday, and it was so beautiful, down at the Minneapolis farmer's market. I got a bunch of different vegetables. I got a humongous thing of potatoes for $2. I got 3 packages of blueberries for $5. Amazing. It wasn't expensive, quality food from our local farmers, and it will go bad in the next few days, and then I'll have to buy more. Food does not have an ingredient label. You don't pick up produce and read all these crazy, wacky ingredient labels. And food doesn't make health claims. On the side of a celery, it doesn't say, going to reduce your heart disease. It doesn't need to. You already know it's healthy, right? I spent some time in Paris with my daughter. She was there dancing, and I went to a supermarket. I made a point to go to a supermarket. I wanted to see what it looked like. And it was really interesting to me because the supermarket had very little packaged food. There were just a couple aisles in the center, and everything was not in a package. Even cheese, bread, everything. You put it in your cart, and you had to go to a weighing station to get a UPC code put on it. They weighed it, and then you went to the checkout line. I thought it was so interesting. And there were like 2 aisles that contained American food. I saw Cocoa Puffs and macaroni and cheese. Oh, depressing. Okay, so also, processed food does some really weird things to your body. I'm not gonna be able to talk about them all, but they really affect the way you behave and the way that you manage your personal health. And food can be medication. It really can change the way, like I said, you behave, the way your kids behave, the way you think, your productivity. If you don't recognize an ingredient on a food label, your body's not going to either. How many of you have looked at the side of some food labels? You see 50 different items on it. You don't even know what they are, but you put it in your cart anyway. It's got to be safe. It's at the grocery store. Half of them are chemicals. Chemicals, additives, food colors, artificial flavors, and they wreak havoc on your body. When you have chronic inflammation in your body, it's a problem. Now, acute inflammation, I get this question all the time. Well, inflammation, like when I cut myself, it gets inflamed. That's different. That's acute inflammation. That's when you cut yourself. I know there's a lot of scientists in here, and your white blood cells go to heal it, and you get a little inflammation in red. That makes sense. But chronic inflammation is in your body. when you are constantly feeding it foreign substances that your body doesn't understand and your cells start to harden. So instead of being soft and pliable and doing the right thing, they become hard like an M&M. And they aren't doing the right things, and you're chronically inflamed, and it leads to a lot of different diseases: heart disease, leaky gut syndrome, weight gain. Women who will tell me, I cannot lose weight. I eat quote unquote healthy, but I cannot lose weight. Well, a lot of times I'll go through what they're eating, and they're eating a lot of the things that have artificial sugars. Not good for you. Artificial flavors, and sometimes you don't even know they're in the product until you actually look at the label. So that's an interesting thing to look at. Looking at my time, I'm doing great. Okay. So I could talk about food all day. Like I said, I love to eat, I love food, I love to cook, but I'm going to move on to exercise. And if anyone wants to discuss food, I'm happy to talk with you. But that, I always want to tell you, the two F words go together: food and fitness. You really can't do one without the other. They really go hand in hand. When people start eating healthy, they tend to then want to move a little bit more, and they think clearer. And when people start exercising, they tend to want to eat a little healthier. It goes back and forth. But getting moving, it's super important. Now, people who know me personally would say, well, of course you're going to say that, Chris. That's what you do. You love to exercise. I do. Lots of people hate to exercise. I'm not going to make you raise your hand if you hate to exercise. Don't worry. But a lot of people just don't love it. I get it. You don't have to call it exercise. You're talking a lot about worksite wellness and doing things like standing up. And for me, I noticed that I was burning more calories through the day if I just stood. I was absolutely more apt to go get a glass of water, to go to the bathroom, to do, just to be a little bit more aware of my surroundings and more alert when I'm standing. But exercise really does help you. Now, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, hey, to treat your high blood pressure, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, osteoporosis, take this new pill and then take it out for a jog, take it to the gym, take it for a bike ride. You get the point. There's no magic pill. If there was, we'd all know about it. And you hear about it on the news. I know there was just recently, I've had numerous questions about Garcinia cambogia. One of those famous doctors is now promoting it. It probably helps you. Is it going to help you lose 100 pounds without doing anything? I mean, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that it could do that? No. But a lot of people will go buy it. So there's no magic pill. And I like to talk about the 3 C's when it comes to exercise. So 2 Q's when it comes to food: quality and quantity. Let's make this easy. 3 C's: commitment, consistency, and convenience. Those 3 C's, consider those when you're deciding how you're going to move your body. So commitment is the first one. It's a big one. You have to commit to yourself. You have to care. How much do you really care? That's what matters. I know so many of us in here who are parents or care for kids, we would bend over backwards to do whatever it is they need, right? So why won't you do that for yourself? Why don't you do that for yourself? Commit. So I just finished a great program with Prevention Magazine. We did a 28-day transformation challenge in May. We had 5,500 women sign up for the mobile app. We had over 12,000 sign up for the newsletter, daily newsletter. I coached them through a mobile app and social media. And the first thing we had them do was set their intention. Because everybody's intention was a little different. There were a lot of people who wanted to lose weight, but there were a lot of people who wanted to feel better, have more energy, be more alert during the workday, get better sleep, be happier in their own skin. There were so many different intentions, and we set them on Instagram and on the mobile app, and people were taking pictures of themselves holding a poster with their intention on it. That really makes you have that commitment down deep. And we all do things for different reasons. I ran the marathon in 2000. It was my first and my last. Come to find out, I'm not a long distance runner. I like it a little quicker, shorter distance. But I did it because it was on my bucket list. I had a commitment. I wanted to try it. I was 13 years ago. I was in my late 30s, had a friend that was a marathoner. We decided to do it together. So we had all these different reasons and intentions for doing it. And I told my husband, bring the kids out to the marathon because it's great for them to see people being active. And back 13 years ago, nobody carried a cell phone. You didn't have any way to communicate with anybody. So I said, at about this time, I'm going to be at mile 18. We made this meeting place. And my oldest was 8 at the time. And so my youngest was 3. So they were watching, and they watched a couple thousand people come over the finish line come by them before I got there. Obviously, thousands of people running. And we got to mile 18, and any of you running marathons, we're going about this fast because our hips were really sore, and it was a really cold day. And my oldest turned to my husband and said, Dad, there's no way Mom's going to win this race. Because in an 8-year-old's mind, what would be your goal for running a race? To win. but that was not my goal. My goal was different. Set your own goals. Reach your own goals. Start with a commitment. Then you got to go for convenience, because if you do something you hate to do, really, how long are you going to do it? I hear people say, I started this new program. I'm swimming 2 miles a day. I can't stand to swim. Why are you doing that? Because you're going to do it for about 2 weeks, and then you're going to quit. You got to find something you like to do. The Zumba craze is happening. Those who love to dance, it is the hottest thing going. It's super fun. I love to do boot camp type workouts. I teach a lot of them. I love strength and cardio together. I love group fitness. I like to be with other people. I'm an extrovert. Can you tell? Some people love to run alone. Some people love to play basketball. Some people like to swim, for goodness sake. I mean, do what you like to do. Make it play. Make it fun. Don't make it drudgery, because you got to find something that's convenient in your life that you can do. And then let's get to consistency. You got to stay consistent. It's our biggest downfall. We start working out. We do it for 2 weeks. We stop. We got to stay consistent. Now, do you remember back when the CDC, which the Center for Disease Control, used to tell Americans, they set the guidelines, by the way, for Americans, and they used to say, everybody should exercise 60 minutes a day. Do you remember that? And what did America say? Yeah, forget it. Don't have time. I'm checking my time. Okay, so, nah, not going to do it. So then they changed the guidelines, and they said, okay, how about 30 minutes, Americans? And what did we say? Not going to do it. Don't have time. So now they put the onus on us. They say 150 minutes of heart-pumping exercise a week. You decide when. You decide when. So it makes it a lot easier for us. 150 minutes is 2.5 hours of heart-pumping exercise, above and beyond your standing, potentially at your workstation. But that's getting your heart pumping. Heart pumping, breathing through your mouth, not comfortably through your nose like you are right now. So maybe 10 minutes on Monday, 20 minutes on Tuesday, an hour on Saturday when you're doing something with someone else or with the family. You divide it up, but get that heart-pumping exercise in. They also suggest 2 strength training workouts a week, and they really leave it loose-ended. They've learned. They've learned. Don't tell Americans exactly what to do. Give them some choices. 2 strength training sessions a week, whatever you want to do. Use your body and build some muscle. And muscle is the key to metabolism. Don't have time to go in all into that, but especially for us females who start to lose muscle after the age of about 35, you've got to actively replace it to keep your metabolism revved up. Now, there's programmed exercise and spontaneous movement. I know you heard earlier today, I think Gabe was here earlier talking about NEAT, right? Am I right? Was that this morning's session? Okay. Which I'm a huge fan of, that whole non-exercise activity thermogenesis, keep your body moving. But, you need to have a little bit of both. Interestingly enough, I did a test panel with Gabe. I don't know where he is in the room. But we did a test panel where we had women doing exercising and trying to turn their device from red to green every day. And we didn't tell them what to do. We didn't say you have to ride a bike or run. We just said, move, turn this thing green. And it was great because they got really creative with what they were doing. And I had a lady tell me she worked in an office building that had 37 floors, and she did not have time to exercise during the day, but she was going to start climbing the stairs on the way up, climbing the stairs on the way down. She's going to wear her tennis shoes. She's worked at this company for 10 years. She pulls the door open to the steps, and she sees all these people. She told me, she goes, holy cow, there's people in the stairwell. I've worked here for 10 years. I've never opened that door. All the fit people walk up and down the stairs all day, for goodness sake. So who knew? That was her exercise. You can make it happen. Now, mental health, there's a lot of components to mental health, and I'm just cruising through this. It is a huge part of your health journey. It ties right into everything because, as I'm going to talk about, self-talk, we talk to ourselves every single day. So there's a lot that happens there. And as I mentioned earlier, you all want to reduce stress a little bit. You raised your hand and said you would like to wake up feeling better, more energy, less stressed. So we want to talk about reducing stress. Life was so much easier when an apple and a blackberry were just fruits. Now they've become appendages. We walk around, my husband is a BlackBerry fanatic, I'm an iPhone fanatic. I got it within arm's reach all the time. I feel skittish if I don't have it near me. Right or wrong, it's the world that we live in. And it causes a lot of stress, a ton of information overload, and creates some belief systems about things that we don't even know about, but we believe them because we hear them so many times. It causes stress. You go to the doctor and you say, my gosh, I'm totally low energy. I don't know what's going on with me. And the doctor tells you, I'm afraid you have children. Have you ever felt that way? Yeah, it just creates a lot of stress in your life. And one of the best things you can do is take care of yourself so that you can take better care of others. And it's a great role model. Since my kids have been little, I exercise all the time. We have a whiteboard in our mudroom area, back hall area, and it's divided into 7 columns. And since they were able to read, I would put up on this whiteboard what was going on every day. On Sunday, it would take me 5 minutes to change this whiteboard out and put everyone's schedules. Both my husband and I are, have kind of crazy schedules, and my kids were all in sports. So it would say on there, I'm working out, I've got this, I've got a meeting, I'm going to dance, practice, hockey, whatever's going on. And we all respected from a very early age each other's schedules. And my kids have never asked me not to work out. They've never said, Mom, don't go work out, do this. They just look up on the whiteboard, and if I have something scheduled, they figure out whatever it is they need to figure out to take care of it, because they never stop me from my schedule, something that we started as an early habit. So think about that. Now, the number one excuse for absolutely everything in this world, including exercise, is what? I don't have time. How many of you use that excuse? We all do. Yeah, right. So I don't have time. We all say it. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to, instead of saying the words, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to grocery shop, I don't have time to eat healthy, I want you to change the words, and I want you to say this instead. I chose to do something else I thought was more important. Ooh, that's a reality check, right? Mom, why don't you exercise? I chose to do something else I thought was more important. Well, why? But aren't you important, right? Isn't your own health important? Or Mom, are you cooking dinner? Nope, not tonight. Don't have time. I chose to do something else I thought was more important. Try it for a week. It helps you reduce your stress. Now, this is the screensaver on my computer. Someone who is busier than you is running right now. I travel for work a lot, and I can get caught into that. Oh, I'm in my hotel room. I think I'll just get some work done. I'm not going to go work out. I'm just going to get some stuff done here, and I'll end up having a very, sedentary day. But when I turn on my computer and I see that, I think about those people in that hotel workout area that are running on that treadmill. I think, okay, get up and go. It motivates me. Have a mantra, have a saying, have something that motivates you to get you to go, because you will reduce your stress when you take better care of yourself. Now, I don't know what you've heard so far today, so I might be flying in the face of I don't know what, but there is no such thing as work-life balance. Reduce your stress right now and get rid of your desire to create perfect work-life balance. I don't know anybody who has it. Back to that word perfect. Nobody's perfect. There is no such thing as work-life balance, and everything that is worth fighting for unbalances your life. You will ebb and flow. Working at home is an interesting situation, because especially when my kids were little, there were times when I had work situations that were so important. I needed to focus on them. I had deadlines to meet. But when something happens to one of your kids or somebody needs you, then that becomes the most important. It can't be about perfect balance. It has to be about ebbing and flowing and what's right in your life. Reduce your stress and get rid of trying to figure that one out. Positive self-talk, I'm going to quickly hit on that. We all talk to ourselves every day. Did you know that? 70% of the thoughts that we have in our head are negative. Did you know that? 70% of what we say to ourselves is negative. Why did I take this way to work today? Why did I say that? Why am I wearing this? Why am I doing that? Right? We talk and we say negative. So what if you could change that to positive? What if you could, remember Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live? I like me, right? It makes you really feel good. Now, I teach fitness classes, and about 50 times in an hour, I will tell my class, you guys are so strong. You are awesome. Way to go. Keep it going. It's building that self-esteem. If you could do that for yourself, because your body hears everything you say. Now, we're running short on time. I'm almost done. But here's what I want you to do. Turn to someone at your table and tell them, you are awesome. Okay, now, everybody is smiling in the room. I just want you to know that. Everybody is smiling in the room. It changes the way you feel. Start saying nice things to yourself. If you talk to your friends the way you talk to your body, you would have no friends left. I mean, honestly, right? So think about that. You need to change that. I wish the doctors could do this. Give this as a prescription. I accept myself unconditionally right now, 2 times a day in front of a mirror, looking at yourself, by the way, because that's the hardest thing to do, is look at yourself in the mirror and say, I look great. Right? You need to do it. Third thing, mental health meditation. Now, meditation, to me, is one of the easiest things that you can do to take care of yourself. It is so simple. It does not have to be spiritual. It does not have to be religious. To me, drinking water and meditating, it's a no-brainer. Boom, at your fingertips. It's so easy. Now, meditating, though, it's so simple. There's no rules, like I just said. It can be 3 to 5 minutes. We're probably the only society, or one of the only societies in the world that does not have meditation, self-reflection as a part of our culture. The Japanese call it Nikon. The Europeans take siesta in the afternoon. They literally close stores down and take an hour off. And we have that badge of honor as the harder you work, the more you do, the better you are. But really, you need a little self-reflection. I teach yoga, and I teach yoga to all different kinds of groups. And I taught yoga to young kids at a dance camp years ago when my daughter was young. And the girls would come in. These were 8-year-olds. And they would come in, and they'd be like, Mrs. Freytag, how long are we going to lay in Savasana today? They craved it. They didn't even really know why, but they were craving that Savasana, that final relaxation where we just melt into our mats and breathe deep. I've been teaching yoga this summer to the varsity hockey team that my son plays on. These are 16 to 18-year-olds, and they're just like 8-year-old little girls. They come into the room and they say, Mrs. Freytag, how long are we going to lay in Savasana today? I'm not kidding. They ask me that. They don't even know that their body is craving it, but something about it they love. So take 3 to 5 minutes a day. It doesn't matter if you're sitting or standing, laying down. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Deep breathing, really deep, thoughtful breathing. Clear your head. I have a couple apps right here. Meditation on the Go if you're a busy person. These are first 3 are free apps. The mindfulness app is a great app. It's worth the $2. It has, it's a guided meditation. It really helps you. It's just a very smart thing to do. And last thing I'm going to tell you is I was at Alina speaking about a year ago, and I mentioned something about meditation. One of the doctors came up to me afterwards, and he had a whole research paper, and I saved it. I've got it in my email. And he said, Chris, I love that you mentioned meditation. And I have to tell you that he had finished some sort of research study where he had proven that meditation had changed the expression of DNA. And I have all the details if you're interested in the study. But that is super powerful, is it not? Such easy things that you can do. Meditate and drink water, and it helps your health. Okay, so if you're waiting for a sign, this is it right here. Start taking better care of yourself. Fuel your body with better food. Get your body moving. 2 Q's for food, 3 C's for fitness. Start thinking nicer to yourself. Say something nice to yourself every day. Get rid of I don't have time. Use a different excuse, for goodness sake. And move forward. I like to talk about Zig Ziglar. People often tell me that motivation doesn't last. I tell them that bathing doesn't last either, so that's why I recommend it daily. You need a dose full of meditation. Come join me on Facebook if you need daily motivation, because every single day I post stuff to motivate you. So there you go. There's my Facebook page. Sign up for my weekly tips. So great to have the opportunity to talk to you. I condensed 60 minutes into 30. I will be in the back if you have any questions. Thank you so much.